I'm going full-time, Clive.
The Way is a BBC miniseries written by James Graham and directed by Mr. Michael Sheen. Right, I've watched so much Welsh drama that I'm pretty tired of tales of the downtrodden set in dowdy places of post-industrial defeat. This particular idea seems ready packaged to draw criticism from the anti-woke right-wing press, while also failing to engage with the classes it hopes to liberate and probably avoiding any under or overtones of the dreaded evil Welsh nationalism. So when I saw that Michael Sheen was to direct a TV series about steelworkers in Port Talbot, despite my sharing general admiration and affection for the man, my response was kind of Sheen tepid. But then this well-known account retweeted an old vid of mine from 2019 showing Gwyn Williams' take on the Capel Celyn incident, and scrolling up the thread I saw an assessment of The Way synopsis, which nailed my nutsack to the sofa and guaranteed my instant viewership on Auntie's iPlayer. 180 minutes later, I'd seen all 3 episodes and enjoyed myself thoroughly. The Way starts off about worsening conditions at the Port Talbot steelworks and the trauma inherited by the Driscoll family as the industry, and therefore the town, slides into strike and eventually riot. This necessitates some talky exposition scenes and some politically on-the-nose posturing, but Sheen and writer James Graham are careful not to linger or dwell on these points. As the story progresses, The Way becomes less about the politics of socialism and steel and more about an inexorable collision between Welsh and British values. Less about picket lines and more about borderlines. The performances are heartfelt. You can tell that Sheen has sold them all on his plan. Stefan Rodri has his meatiest ever part. Superb. Mali Harries has just never had more to work with. Callum Scott Howells, a vocal supporter of Welsh independence, by the way, gets a chance to shift tone from his It's a Sin character. There's a smorgasbord of Cymric talent, including Sheen himself, channeling his inner Mike Bubbins as the ultimate Welsh drama trope of the absent father.
I'm in a kingdom far, far away.
I'm just sick of feeling like we have no power.
Port Talbot represents Wales itself, dependent on dead industry and others to come in and fix its problems. The Driscoll family, the surrogate for us, the Welsh people, traumatised, at each other's throats constantly, quick to crippling divisions, burdened by the past and unclear how to shake it off. The Way has elements of The Wizard of Oz, Excalibur, The Piano and V for Vendetta. Visually and tonally it calls back to cult British series Utopia, with influences from maybe Ken Loach and Alan Clark thrown in, and of course the show's turning to archive montage is an obvious influence from the producer Adam Curtis, probably commenting on the UK's Brexity penchant for regressive nostalgia, yeah? The story's take on modern political divisions is not as partisan as some would have you believe. It's interesting that the right-wing press is super eager to label Sheen as a nationalist, whereas the left-wing media seems unable to grasp with the idea that nationalism isn't inherently bad. But overall, Sheen and Graham take care not to reveal too much of their red underwear. The childish and inadequate nature of the British press and its influence on the public is perhaps chief in Sheen's motivations for his increasing questioning as to what is going to be necessary in order to reform the UK. And for those of you who haven't caught up, it's independence, folks. What I most appreciate about this series is its willingness to explore an aspect conspicuous by its absence in Welsh film and TV. Conflict with the fucking English. It doesn't mean we hate them, but Wales literally exists not to be England, and it's fantastic to see somebody with the testicular weight to finally tackle this on screen, and even more refreshing when you consider the UK audience who are going to see it. But The Way is not a polemic and mostly keeps its preachy tongue behind its cheek. It's dramatic, funny, self-referential, aware and appreciated. It's got plenty to say about Wales and its relationship with the UK. It's not perfect by any means. It's narratively unclear sometimes, and tonally it's all over the place. But I fucking loved it. Get on it. Cymru am byth, bitches.
I'm going full-time, Clive.